Hey everybody, it's Matt Easton, your friend in apartment marketing, and on today's episode of Ask Matt, we're going to be talking about resident retention. All right, so I'm on my way out to Dallas. The Apartment Association of Greater Dallas, terrific group. They asked me to write an article for Rooflines, their publication, regarding resident retention. And you can probably guess why Dallas would be so concerned about resident retention. It is actually the second busiest market as far as apartment new construction in the country. Only New York City is building more apartments than Dallas. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of pressure on property managers in Dallas because everywhere they look, there's a crane going up with another new community. So on this episode of Ask Matt, I'm going to just cover real quickly what I cover in the article. I'm going to give you kind of a 30,000 foot flyby, 10 DIY do-it-yourself tips that you can do at your community, whether you're in Dallas or anywhere else, to help keep your residents. Okay, tip number one, a brand new community cannot compete with your people. That's how you can shine. One way to do that is to create a signature greeting. I thought of this summer. I had the opportunity to meet Peter Bowling. He is the managing director of the one and only Pamelia Resort in Cabo San Lucas. And Peter, if you've ever been to the one and only, you know exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as you arrive, it's like you've died and gone to heaven. You're in a whole new world every time you're there, and you don't want to leave. Even if you're spending $1,800 a night for your hotel room, you don't want to leave. One of the great ways that they do that is he's created what he calls a signature greeting there. So no matter who sees, I'm going to do this in terms of your apartment community. With them, it's the guest, but no matter who sees the resident or the prospect there on property, every person you see, whether it's a resident, whether it's a prospect, or it's another associate, at One and Only, how they do their greeting is they make eye contact, they smile, and they just put their hand on their heart. So you just be walking, and it's just something as simple as this. I can't tell you how good that makes you feel when you're at that hotel, and that is how good you can make your residents feel. Create a signature greeting on the property. Maybe it's you put the hand on the heart, maybe it's something like this, but you always make eye contact, you always smile, and have your own little thing that you do at that property. I'm telling you, it's going to make the property special. It's going to make your residents feel special, and they are going to think not twice, maybe 3, 4, 50 times before they think about living anywhere else, because they love getting those smiles. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Nice to see you. All right, DIY tip number 2. Well, that was actually 4. All right, DIY tip number 2, learn everybody's names. Now, I bet you half of the people watching this video right now are rolling their eyes going, oh my God, he's telling me to learn people's names. I can't tell you how much it helps residents stay at the community if you at least show them the courtesy and respect of knowing their name. Learn everybody's names. If you are a community manager and you need to take pictures of each resident and write their name down, make a game out of it. Make sure the property manager knows every resident's name. Make sure the assistant manager knows every resident's name. Make sure the maintenance guy, especially the one that looks a little grumpy, knows everybody's name. Hey Matt, how you doing? Hey Matt, how's it going? Great to see you. Matt, hey, cool. Did you get a new car, Matt? Looks awesome. Love seeing you around. You have to use your residents' names. If you don't even know somebody's name and you want them to renew their lease with you, you haven't even earned the right to ask them for that lease. I guarantee you that new community on the street, they're learning their names right now. So start today. Make sure everybody in the community, whether you got to make a game out of it, whether you got to bonus them out, I don't care. Make sure everybody knows each and every resident's name, or do your damnedest to make sure that they do. Number 3. Focus on value, not on rents. Sure, every property, whether you're in Dallas or Duluth or Des Moines, Iowa is going to get some haters. It's just the nature of the beast. You're going to have some people that hate the community. They're going to complain about it. They're going to go on Yelp and they're going to complain. People are going to complain. However, if people are constantly complaining about the rate of your rent or the price, it's because you haven't shown them enough value. Focus on what makes your property unique. Make sure that not only you can communicate that value, but that you are communicating that value to every prospect, to every resident. That may be the school district you're in, the location of the community, your happy staff that's got a great greeting, you know everybody's name, the warm and welcoming environment that you have. List those things out. I've done some other videos on creating your property's personality. Go back and find those if you need some help. Focus on the value of your community, not on the price of your rents. In every single market, there can only be one cheapest apartment complex. Now, that's even in the luxury community. Let's say you're in Dallas. There can only be one most affordable luxury community. You don't want to be that property. Let somebody else be the one that's the cheapest. You focus on your value. Hey, we're secure. We know everybody's name. We love you. You've got a great view. You've got the dog park. No, bam, 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 bam. Exactly what the value of your community is. Make sure that you recite it to your residents and make sure that your fellow associates know that value and can recite it back to you cold, without rehearsing, without looking at any notes.
I'd love to get you one, but I'll shut you up. What do you want?
Can I get some pizza?
You're like 35. The kids menu is 8 and under.
You should have something on the adult menu.
Oh my God. Do I look like I'm in charge of anything? All right, that's fine. You know what? Fine. You want to cheap out? That's cool. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? What are you drinking? What are you drinking? Your lemonade is going to be this big because you're ordering off the kids menu and I'm not refilling it for you. What do you want? What? Weird. Off the regular menu or the baby menu?
Baby, 7.
All right, enjoy your ridiculously tiny hamburger. What are you drinking? Whatever. You.
All right, tip number 4, never be rude or condescending. Okay, I know this seems like a no-brainer, but listen to what I have to say and be honest with yourself and catch if maybe you or your staff has been rude or condescending. Rude and condescending is even as simple as not greeting somebody when they come into the leasing office, not recognizing that somebody's there when you see them on property, not knowing their names. Those are all rude and condescending. Now, those are the kind of the high level ones that you may not think of. But now let's get real. Let's get real, everybody, and talk about things like that was right. That was described right in your lease. The times when you can pick up packages was clearly displayed on the sign. Did you not know that you couldn't park there? All of that type of talk and type of conversation to your residents is rude and it is condescending and it will cost you your business. I believe it's 47% of renters will not renew their lease if they have had rude and condescending experiences on the property. Whether you walk into a multifamily traffic office, our headquarters in Denver, or our new office in Dallas, you're going to be greeted. Hello, how are you doing? How can I help you? They're going to be excited. No matter if you don't know anything about SEO, we are never going to be like, you didn't know that? You didn't know what a keyword was? It's explained right there in your quote, or here's how to read your rankings report. Anybody that talks to any one of my customers like that, any one of multifamily traffic's customers, they are fired on the spot. You need to have a similar policy at your property. Nobody's rude, nobody's condescending. Everybody is excited, happy, and ready to help. All right, number 5. I almost did 10 there. Number 5, and I'm a car guy, so I love this one. Everybody loves that new car smell. I love that new car smell. I wish I could get that new car smell every 6 months, but I can't. Everybody loves that new car smell. I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting there in the leasing office of some of the best communities and some of the not so best communities, some of the smallest communities, some of the largest communities, and I hear the same talk over and over again when the regional meets with the property managers. And that is, hey man, we lost 3 units last month. What happened? And they always say the same thing. Oh, our rent was too high, and there's Acme Lofts down the street. They've got that rooftop pool, and we just can't help losing people. believe it or not, more than you know, people will leave their apartment and not renew the lease and go through all the trouble of moving simply because their unit is dirty, may smell a little funky. Their kid may have put some stains on the wall. Maybe they had a puppy and the puppy was teething and kind of tore the place up a little bit. Rather than fix it up themselves, or God forbid, because they don't have a solid relationship with you, let you know what's going on, they're just going to go sign a lease with somebody else. Wouldn't it be better if you could just give them that new car smell? Here's what they want to accomplish. They want a cleaner place to live. They don't necessarily want to move. So start maybe communicating more with your residents and start some policies like, hey, what if if you re-sign the lease, I'm going to go ahead and get your unit painted for you. I can do that while you're at work. We're going to schedule it. What if we have a cleaning company come in and clean this place top to bottom? You're going to feel brand new. You're going to feel like $1 million. Your unit's going to look like $1 million, smell like $1 million. It might even be as simple as, hey, can I just come in and clean the carpets? You will be surprised if you can give them that new car smell, make that a part of them re-signing their lease. People don't want to move, and it might not be the rooftop pool. It's probably not the rooftop pool down the street. Moving is a pain in the ass, but everybody loves that new car smell. Okay, number 6. I got to do number 6 now, don't I? Number 6, and this is huge at multifamily traffic. Multifamily traffic is a no negativity environment. You need to make your property a no negativity zone. No negativity allowed on the community. If you are a negative community and you have people with a bad attitude, there is only one reason that somebody is going to renew their lease, and that is either you give them a lower rent or they know that your rent is the lowest they can find. When people don't have a positive experience, there's only one avenue for them to pivot to, and that is price. So if you're walking around with a scowl on your face and you're grumpy and you got Carl in maintenance and he's just freaking fed up, and if he has to replace another light bulb, he's going to just lose it. You got to kill all that noise right now, starting today. No negativity allowed on your property. I don't care if somebody is coming in with their hair on fire and they're totally out of line. You need to be excited. Hey, I'm glad I can help you. My position was created just for this type of situation. Let me help you. I'm excited. I want to get this handled for you. You got to have a positive attitude. Every employee at multifamily traffic is required to be positive and leave their negativity at the door. We do our best to do that. You need to do that at your community too. Otherwise, you're just going to have to keep lowering your rents, and you're probably still not going to get those renewals. Okay, number 7. I did that right. All right, number 7. I want you to become the Apple of your market, and here's what I mean by that. Sure, Samsung has got some killer stuff on their phones. They've got some killer phones. Google has some killer phones. LG has some killer phones. One of the reasons why Apple has such a large market share is there's just so much hype and demand for their product. And it's really, you can use this same philosophy when it comes to renewing your leases. If your office is a ghost town, if there's no calls coming into the leasing office and there's no energy, not only is that palpable, you can feel it, it just feels cold and dead around the leasing office, but your property managers and your staff feels it, and they're depressed and they're grouchy, and now we're getting to a negativity zone. Apple, whenever they release a new phone, what goes on? There's these people, these maniacs lined up around the store. And yeah, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna line up and wait in line to be the first one to get a new phone. But you're damn right, I see that when I walk by and I'm like, holy cow. People love this company. You can do the same thing with your apartment community. If you make sure that your apartment community is at the top of Google, we can help you do that. If the phones in the leasing office are ringing off the hook, if everybody wants to know, hey, do you have a 2-bedroom available? Do you have a 3-bedroom available? Do you have a 1-bedroom? I know I called last week and you didn't have any 1-bedrooms, but please tell me you've got a 1-bedroom available. If you have that kind of energy coming in, not only are you going to be able to lease more units that are open, but the people that are staying there are like, hot diggity dog, I am living in the place that everybody wants to live at. Maybe they see their own community at the top of Google when they do their own research, and they're like, man, I'm thinking about leaving. Let me look up luxury apartments in Dallas, Texas. And they see, oh my gosh, My community just came up number 1. I'm already living in the best place. Psh, I'm going to stay where I'm at. Hopefully they won't raise my rent too much. If you can bring that kind of energy, that kind of traffic into your community, be the number 1 community on Google, that energy will correspond to your current residents wanting to stay there. It's just human psychology. It's going to happen. If you need help with that, call my office, 888-683-5885. I can help you with that. All right, number 8. Man, I'm still bad at this. Let's try it like this. I mean, I'm throwing up a gang sign here. Number 8, handle people that want to talk to a manager. Okay, here's what I mean by this. How many times does somebody walk into the leasing office, they're like, man, I really want to see a manager. And maybe you're not the property manager. Maybe you're the maintenance guy. Maybe you're assistant leasing. Make sure you've got a ton of energy and you're excited and you want to help that person that wants to either they're calling in and maybe they want to speak to a manager, maybe they want to see a manager. Make sure you're always helping them and you're not, Kim is in a meeting right now. This is what I get when I call. Hey, can I talk to Kim, the manager? Oh, Kim's in a meeting right now. Can I take your number and I'll have her call you back? Fail. Here's a quick little bit of advice for you. There are three types of people that want to see a manager at an apartment community. Number 1, all right, the most obvious and the reason why you should be wanting to talk to a manager or handle somebody that wants to talk to a manager, no matter who you are, number 1, they want to lease an apartment from you. What? How many times have I called in and say, hey, can I talk to the community manager? And I get sent to voicemail. I get, what if I wanted to lease a 2-bedroom? Boom, they could have just closed that baby. They could have shut me down right there on the phone. Man, I'm here to help you. My job was created just for that. I am the right hand of the property manager here. What can I help you with, sir? What's your name? Matt. Hi, how can I help you? Okay, so number 1, they want to lease an apartment, obvious. Number 2, they're a vendor, all right? Oh my God, this is why you're sending everybody to voicemail. You think they're a vendor. And number 3, they're ready to file a complaint. They want to complain. Oh God, nobody wants to talk to somebody who wants to file a complaint. Anybody that wants to talk to a manager at multifamily traffic, our people are trained to handle that right away. And let me convert this into apartment terms for you. Number 1, I want to lease an apartment. No brainer, duh, lease them their unit. Number 2, I'm a vendor. Guess what vendors can become? Residents. Most of the vendors live right there in your market. So if you're in Dallas and it's a carpet cleaning company, maybe they need an apartment. Boom, potential prospect right there. Number 3, I want to file a complaint. I want to complain. Let them complain. Be excited. Help them. Service, 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 service. Be excited. Positive attitude. You're going to get a lease renewal out of it. You might even make them so happy that they're like, dude, Tim, you gotta, here, go talk to Patty and the leasing. You gotta come live where I live. I just had a complaint yesterday. Bam, they handled it like that. Anytime somebody wants to talk to a manager, you handle that. Whether you are Skippy in the maintenance department, or it's your first day on the job and you're an assistant leasing manager, or you're the manager of the community. I want to see a manager. You handle it. You ask them, hey, what's going on? How can I help you? I'm excited to help. And you jump on that. You do not leave those people sitting. You do not send them to voicemail. You do not take a message. You handle everybody that wants to talk to a manager at your community. If you don't, you're on your own come time for lease renewals. All right. Number 9, always ask questions about what the resident is thinking. Ask, 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 and ask. Yes, their budget is your business. And if they go and sign a lease with somebody else, it's most likely because you didn't ask the right questions and you weren't able to handle them with respect, with courtesy, with dignity, and get it done. But unless you ask the questions, there's no way that you can save that resident. So get ahead of things. Ask them, hey, what's going on? We're getting ready to renew your lease. I would love to have you. I would love to have you at the community. What are you thinking? Oh, well, I'd like to save a little bit of money on my apartment. Oh, well, what's the budget you're going to be at? Well, there's this place down the street and they're giving me 6 weeks free. And if I amortize that over the course of the year, that's $100 less than my rent. Now you can start the dialogue of the value, just like we talked about before, knowing the value of your community, hands down. But unless you ask them, you're never going to know. It might be something as simple as, man, I really wanted to move to this place because it's a cleaner unit. Ask those questions. Find out what's on their mind, what they're thinking. Don't just wait and be like, Skip didn't re-sign his lease, and I'm pretty sure it's because our rent's too high, and that new community's got a pool that's on the roof, and our pool's not on a roof. Ask Skip, what, hey Skip. First of all, know Skip's name. Ask Skip, hey Skip, what's going down? Your lease is due in 60 days. How do we lock this up, man? I love having you at the property. I know you love being here. I hope you love being here. What's on your mind? Tell me what you're thinking. And if you haven't thought about it, hey, Skip, why don't me and you grab a Starbucks? Let's sit down and let's talk through it. Let's go through, and I want to make sure that you live here longer. So always ask them what's going on, and don't assume anything. Don't assume you know why they may be going somewhere else. Ask the resident what's going on. Be their friend. All right, this one, I saved the biggest one for last. And again, like all these tips, this doesn't cost you anything to implement. But number 10, tip number 10, you need to accept responsibility for your situation. You will not begin to see a massive improvement in the amount of residents you're able to retain until you and your team become fully aware of the amount of change that has occurred in the Dallas apartment market. And if you're in any other market, I'm sure there's a ton of change that's occurred there. But until you're aware of the fact that, hey, we've got competitors, there's people out there with different product than we have, until you make yourself very sober and very aware of what's going on, you're not going to be able to let go of the past and move forward to the future. So here's a quick litmus test that we've developed at Multifamily Traffic that I want to give you guys, and that is, these are 3 questions that you should be able to answer yes to all 3 of these questions. The first one is, are you no longer concerned with who is to blame, but what you need to do? Stop blaming your regional. Stop blaming your marketing department. Stop blaming the grumpy old maintenance guy. Stop blaming the new community down the street. Hey, from now on, I'm taking full responsibility for the situation the community is in, and we're going to get ourselves out of this, and we're going to start retaining all of our residents, or pretty darn close to all of our residents. So that's the first question that you need to ask yourself is, are you no longer concerned with who's to blame, but rather what you need to do? Number 2, do you believe that no one is going to come in and save the community? You have to know that. Hey, we're on our own here. We're going to save this community. We don't need to drill a hole in the roof and put a pool in there. We don't need to completely remodel. We've got this. Nobody's coming to save us. It's just us. It's just the crew here. We are going to make our residents so happy that they never want to leave. I can't tell you how many community managers have this feeling in the back of their head that any day now somebody's going to come in and bail me out of this situation. You need to take responsibility for yourself that you're going to improve your resident retention. All right, the last question is, are you disappointed in the results from your action you've taken already and you're ready to try new things? No brainer here, guys. Sometimes you need to try new things. If you keep doing the same old thing, that is the definition of insanity. Try 1, 2, 3, all 10 of these DIY techniques. Get more calls coming into the leasing office. We can help you with that. Make yourself aware of the fact that, hey, here's what I've tried in the past that may not have worked, and I'm willing to step outside of my comfort zone and try new things. Maybe it's that greeting, maybe it's learning everybody's name at the community. Make sure that you're aware of what you've tried in the past, what's worked in the past, what is not working, and be ready to try new things. Have an open mind. With that, those are 10 DIY techniques for resident retention. I hope this helps folks in the Dallas market. I hope it helps folks in every market. Like always, I am Matt Easton, your friend in apartment marketing. You can reach us on our corporate office at 888-683-5885. Our website is www.multifamilytraffic.com. My direct line is 303-803-7372. Feel free to call or text me anytime. I'm Matt Easton, your friend in apartment marketing.